Today we're gonna make a homemade roux. So what we need is oil and flour. And my husband is gonna do that because it's his job to do it.
Uh-oh. I'm the one that usually makes the roux. It's an interesting job and it used to take a long time. I've seen a lot of various ways to make roux and most of them are fairly time consuming, and I know that the way I learned was time consuming. But this guy, my hero, says you can make roux, dark roux, in 5 to 10 minutes. So I just soldiered up and I got a big whisk and our big cast iron pan, and we're gonna turn the fire up as high as it goes till the pan smokes and just knock it out. But before that, I have to have a sip of beer because I'm gonna be a slave to this pan for a few minutes. Okay, let's do this. Start by using a very large burner, the biggest one you've got, with the highest flame you've got. So notice that our pan, all the seasoning is warming up. It went from very flat looking to very glossy. So we're heating the pan up well and getting all that seasoning warmed up first. All right, we're starting to get some smoke over the pan here. So we're gonna go ahead and add our oil. We're using 1 cup of coconut oil. All right. Now we've got a little bit of oil in reserve here. We'll talk about that later. Our pan is very hot and our oil is very hot, and we're just starting to see smoke rise off the pan. So you can see the oil actually moving a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and start adding our flour. Yeah. It's really crazy hot. Okay, do it. Get it in here. Yep. So we're gonna add this flour as quickly as we can and whisk like crazy without splashing ourselves with hot oil is the idea. Okay, that's 1 cup. 1 1/4 cups of flour.
And turn the flame.
Okay, see this big smoky effect we've got here? This is really good, but this also means you're kind of walking the line between getting a nice, fast, hot, dark brown roux and burning it. So just keep it going. Don't leave any part of the pan unwhisked. Make sure you're covering the entire bottom of the pan and you haven't left any spot to chance. Turn this off here in a minute. All right, I just cut the flame off. The fire is off now. Just keep stirring and turn your fan on.
It's a beautiful roux. gonna be really good. Good job.
That looks nice. All right, so let's see Chef Paul. He's got examples of some roux here. So I would say we're pretty close to, I'd say we're kind of in between. Wow, that's really dark. Look at that one. That's really dark. But it looks like, what do you guys think? I think that we're probably like that third one. Yeah, that looks about, maybe we're just a shade darker than that. Very good roux. Earlier, I mentioned keeping some oil in reserve, and I owe an explanation about that. During the process of cooking the roux, it reaches a point, I would say about midway through, where it seems to thicken up and start caking and bunching a little bit. That's when I think it probably runs the closest risk of burning, and sometimes adding 1 or 2 tablespoons of that reserve oil can help get you past that. After you reach that point and it continues to brown, it seems like it smooths back out again. So that's what I use the reserve oil for if I run into that situation. You just can't cool it off fast enough by turning the burner down on a cast iron pan. So dropping in an extra tablespoon or 2 of the coconut oil will help you keep from ruining the whole thing and having to start over. That was stressful. Glad it's done.